Hey everybody. Y'all don't know if I'm looking at the camera or not. Lord Jesus. Hello, hello, hello. It's your sis Katori. I'm trying to wait to see if we're gonna get some people in. I know this is super impromptu. And I might not even wait for anybody to come on in because I wasn't even planning on doing this. But for some reason, it just started stirring up in me, and I was just like, you know what? I should just go live. I should just go live. So, all right, I see we got somebody on in here. All right, I see a few people. Hey, y'all. Hi, how are you? What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Listen, y'all, this is super. Hey, sis. I'm good. I'm good. You know, it's a very interesting time. It's I keep telling my friends like, yo, this is like a strange time. I'm telling you, the Lord is doing some stuff that I'm like, Lord, what is this? What's going on? I mean, it's beautiful, but there's some things that, that don't look exactly how you thought they were going to look. But that's what he does sometimes. And I just marvel at his plans. I marvel at his sovereignty. I marvel at, you know, how meticulous he is and how he puts everything together and just how different of a thing he's doing right now. But I jumped on really quick because I had just recorded a video. And then I was sitting here thinking about the video after I got done, and I was just like, there was some things that I really wanted to say that I did not say. So I was just like, you know what? Let me just jump on live and let me just say some of the things I said in the video and then add what I wanted to add. So the video is about, well, it was about, because I'm not going to record it. I'm not going to upload it now. But the video was about your marriage. Okay, it's kingdom and it's personal. And so the scripture I am using is Genesis 24:67. Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother, Sarah, and he married Rebekah. So she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. And so a couple of months ago, the Lord was dealing with me about how I had been seeing my kingdom marriage. And he was like, yo, you see this thing as kingdom. Hey, sis. I'm good. How are you? He's like, you've been seeing this thing as just a kingdom transaction. Like I've been all business when it comes to this kingdom marriage. Okay. I've been all business. Like, okay, Lord, what is it gonna do? How are we gonna reach people? What are we like? It's been like that, right? And so I keep thinking about the deliverance of this promise, the manifestation of this promise, only through the lens of, God, you got to do this because your word won't return to you void. God, you got to do this because people need this marriage. And he said, that's true. That is true. My word will not return to me void. That's true. There is such a greater purpose beyond you for your marriage. However, daughter, however, you need to see this a little bit more personally, because this isn't going to happen for you just because my word won't return to me void. It's not going to happen just because there are people in the world who will benefit from your marriage. He said, I made my daughter a promise. I made my daughter a promise, and I'm going to fulfill the promise I made to my daughter. So don't forget you in this. He said, keep that energy. I love how kingdom focused you are. Keep that, please. Keep that. Don't move away from that. But I also need you to understand that this marriage that I'm bringing to you is a gift to you as well. It's a gift to you as well. And so, and so, that is a reflection of how I am in my life, right? I'm always thinking about anything God does through me, anything he's promised me, anything he wants to give to me. I'm always thinking about how it's going to benefit the people around me, right? And so even with that, the Lord is like, these things are going to bless you as well. These things are going to elevate you as well. These things are going to deliver you, heal you as well. He was like, you are so aware and so conscious of what your marriage is going to do for the kingdom, but what about what your marriage is going to do for you? Because you guys, I had really kind of cut myself off. I hadn't really like thought about too much about what my husband meant to me personally. And the Lord was bringing to my attention, you have some needs that can only be fulfilled through this man I'm bringing into your life. There's some things that you personally need that I'm delivering through your marriage. So your marriage is not coming just to have an impact on the lives of other people. It's coming to have an impact on your life. And Isaac and Rebecca are a perfect example of that. But every marriage we see in the Bible, it had an effect on the husband's wife and the man's wife. They were always equally beneficial. They were always mutually beneficial. Isaac and Rebecca, Isaac was deeply comforted by his wife at a time where he probably didn't even realize how much he needed that comfort. But there was a father who knew what he needed. Just like there's a father who knows what I need and a father who knows what you need and what your spouse needs, right? He needed her comfort. She needed his love. And what your spouse is coming to add to your life is going to help you become a better version of yourself. It's going to help you be more molded, be more grounded. It's going to help you be more confident. It's going to help you be more complete, more healed, more whole, whatever it may be that you need, so that you can go out there and actually fulfill the kingdom purpose on your life, to a greater capacity and to with a greater ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that the Lord hasn't fully finished in you yet, because your husband is coming to help be a part of that process, because your wife is coming to help be a part of that process. I know there's some things that the Lord's already told me, like, that's gonna come, that's gonna be better in me, that's gonna be deeper. There's some parts of my healing that's gonna be finished or completed, or it's gonna go deeper into completion when that man comes along. Not that the Lord hasn't taken care of majority of that, because he has. He has. But there's some things that come along that the Lord's put in him specifically, that when we come as a partnership, it's going to unlock something in me. It's going to help me see things I didn't see before. It's going to help me see myself in ways I didn't see myself before. And you're like, well, why couldn't God just do that right now? He could, but that's not his plan. There's some things that had to happen before my husband came. And there's some things the Lord is like, oh, actually, I'm going to use him for that. Actually, I'm going to use him for that. And when I use him for that, then watch what it's gonna do to her, and then watch what she's gonna be in the world. And so the Lord was just like, listen, I want you to enjoy this through the lens of what you're gonna do for the kingdom. But baby girl, your marriage is a gift to you as well. And I just want to come free some people. Because, listen, I'm going to tell you to be kingdom-minded all day. I'm going to tell you to never get wrapped up in just the bliss of marriage, just the bliss of companionship, just the bliss. I'm going to tell you not to get wrapped up in that, right? I'm going to tell you to not see that as the only thing, because you shouldn't. However, don't disregard that there is a place in your purpose in your marriage just for you to enjoy. Just for you, because marriage is a gift. It really truly is a gift from God, and all good and perfect gifts come from him. So understand that there needs to be an understanding that the Lord is like, I want to bless the world through you, but I want to bless you too. Because I wasn't seeing I was seeing like, oh, the world needs our gifts, and the world's going to benefit so much from our gifts, and this, that, and the other, whatever. And I was seeing my husband like, oh, God, he's such this kind of man and that kind of man and that kind of man. And I can see how he's going to be able to do all these wonderful things. And I get to come alongside of him and help him and whatever. And the Lord was like, oh, yeah, but don't you need this from him? Don't you need that from him? Didn't I tell you that he was this kind of man, and he does this and he does this and he does this? And the Lord had been bringing all of these people, all these sisters in Christ that he was connecting me with, bringing them not to talk to me specifically or solely on what we were going to do for the kingdom, but to remind me of everything this man was going to do for me personally. And you guys, it wasn't easy for me to just receive that, but it kept happening over and over and over. And I'm like, when the Lord repeat himself, he means that thing. And I was kind of like hesitant to even come on here and share this. I mean, honestly, this started happening a couple of months ago, but I just felt like there needed to be a balance. I'm about balance, right? And so as much as I tell you like, yo, it's deeper than just you, it's bigger than just you, at the same time, I'm going to come back and tell you, but don't forget about the promise also being about the fulfillment of God's word to you for your life, because he's your father. So when they were like, girl, your husband is gonna do this and gonna be like this towards you and that towards you, and oh my gosh, this is how he sees you, blah, 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 you would think that would be easy to accept. But it was like I was having to like retrain myself to accept those kind of things, because I tend to put myself last. And it, honestly, these kind of conversations reveal deeper things and deeper issues. So when the Lord is like, hey, you need to take this more personally, what he's really trying to say to me is, you need to see yourself as deserving of a beautiful gift like this. You need to see yourself as deserving of this love like this. You need to understand that I'm thinking about you as well, while you're thinking about the rest of the world. And I'm grateful for that, daughter. I'm grateful for that. Please keep that energy. Please keep that energy. Don't lose that. I love your heart for people. I love your heart for my children. But also, you are my child. And just like I'm thinking about them, so I put certain things in you, and I've caused your marriage to be able to do certain things for them, I am thinking about you as well. And I've caused this marriage to produce certain things for you. Right? And so I had to think about, like, why am I thinking like this? Why am I feeling like this? Because he's like, yo, you are just business, business, business. He's like, what about you though? And I really didn't have an answer for that at first, but then I realized the Lord is telling me that I needed to be receptive to all the gifts he has for me personally. And I needed to see my marriage as a gift for me personally first. So then I'm like, okay, it's a gift for me. I can enjoy this and not feel bad about it. I can enjoy this and not feel condemned about it. I can be excited about this thing from a personal place as well as a kingdom place, because I'm already through the roof, okay, about this from a kingdom place. And I get that some people are the opposite of that. Some people, they're super, sorry, guys, I'm just like, it's a lot. Okay, there's a lot of people who are the opposite of that. And they're so excited personally, but they're not excited enough, or not excited at all. Kingdom. I had the opposite problem. I'm so excited kingdom, but not enough personally. Not enough personally. Listen, I want excitement in my marriage. I want joy in my marriage. I want laughter in my marriage. I want all of those beautiful things. I want it to be enjoyable. I don't want marriage to feel like a chore. It already is going to require some work, but I don't want it to feel like a job. Like, I don't want it to feel like, oh my gosh, like my marriage is just an assignment. Like, no, it's a gift. It's an honor. It's a privilege for the Lord to love me so much that he's not just like, hey, I'm going to put this in you because I need you to give it to my kids. But listen, I'm going to give you my son, and my son has specific things inside of him that you need for you to make you a better person, to bring you into the fullness of who I called you to be and what I told you you're going to do in the world. And to know that he's done the same thing in me for my husband, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Marriage is a gift, and I just wanted to come encourage you to not be lopsided in this thing, but to be balanced. And it's okay for you to be excited about getting married because you also want a companion, because you also want to be a companion, because you want to give love, because you want to be loved, in addition to the purpose that you understand you are called to fulfill. It's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. I am not about condemnation on this channel. I'm not about judgment on this channel at all. I'm not. And I have to come tell you guys this kind of stuff because there's always a deeper issue. There's always a deeper issue. If I'm telling you to be excited about your marriage from a personal standpoint, it's always deeper than what it sounds. And that's why I was like, you know what, let me just come and do this live, because I didn't get to say some of the things that I wanted to say on the video. And then I was sitting up here thinking about some of the replies or responses I would probably get on that video, and how a lot of people would probably, and this could still happen because people don't always pick up everything. Sometimes I have this tendency to want to like break things all the way down, right? Because I don't want people to misidentify what I'm saying. But it's really not my responsibility to provide you the grace to get what I'm saying. I pray that the Holy Spirit will give you the grace to hear what I'm saying, that the Holy Spirit will give you the spiritual ears to hear what I'm saying. But I wanted this to bless somebody and to free somebody up. You should always be excited about the promises of God, knowing that they're twofold, knowing that there's a benefit for you and there's a benefit for the kingdom. That's what it's going to be. Everything that you've already come through, it wasn't just for your benefit, it was for the kingdom, right? But the Lord didn't heal you, deliver you, bring you through the divorce, keep your children, keep your right mind, all that, just so other people can be blessed by it. It's so you could be blessed by it as well. So you could come to know Christ deeper. And when you do that, then you tell them, you share it with them. And then not just their life is transformed, your life is transformed. Not just your life is transformed, their life is transformed. So it's for us to have a deeper knowing, a deeper understanding, a deeper relationship with him. But then so also we can help other people have the same thing. So I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. That really helped me a whole lot when the Lord said that to me, because like I said, it helped me understand why he kept sending so many people to talk to me about me and my husband, not just from a kingdom perspective, because they also were speaking kingdom. They're always going to speak kingdom to me because they have to, but also speaking personally, what it was going to mean to me. And at first, it was kind of difficult to swallow it, because I had like really trained my mind to not even too much think about it personally. But I understood now why the Lord kept doing that. Why he kept doing that. Because I needed to see this man as a gift to me personally, because I needed to understand that my father had personal interest in my happiness, personal interest in my joy, personal interest in my security, personal interest in my development, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. He had a personal investment and interest in every area of my life, being completely fulfilled, my complete well-being. My complete well-being. Because sometimes we can over spiritualize things, and marriage is a super, super spiritual thing. Do not get me wrong. But what I'm saying is that sometimes we only see the spiritual, and the Lord is like, there's also a practical reason for this. There's also a practical, some of the things about your husband, the Lord is giving them to you, not because of the spiritual part. Some of it is because there's some practical things that he's coming with that you need in your life. Some of the things that you're coming with are more practical for him. Some of the things you're coming with are to bring him more of an emotional development, emotional well-being to his life, in addition to the spiritual. So for me, I know there's some things the Lord is like, it's gonna help with your mentality. Is gonna help get rid of those insecurities. Is gonna help do this. It's gonna help do that. Right? That's in addition to everything that man is coming to add to me spiritually. But the Lord can't leave that other stuff off the table, because I need those things. And I'm a spirit, but I'm still having a human experience. And so I need those other areas, the physical, the emotional, the mental. I need those things to be straight and secured and figured out, so that stuff don't keep combating with my spirit. Because my spirit will tell me wonderful, amazing things all day long. But my insecurities will also speak. But my mindset that needs to be renewed, my mindset that needs to have some things plucked out of it, will also speak. And if I get those things under control, and I get those things under submission, if they get on the same page as my spirit, then let me tell you something. I won't have those moments where the Lord speaks a word and then I start to kind of like, I look at myself and be like, can this really happen? Well, last time I tried, blah, blah, blah. That's insecurity. That's past experiences. That's all these things that the Lord is actively working on. But my husband has a specific component that's going to come and add to that. That's going to, for once and for all, like make that stuff not even an issue for me anymore. Hey, Whitney. Hi. So I'm just saying that I want to do for you what the Lord did for me. And that was just remind me, it's okay to be excited about the companionship. It's okay to be excited about the love. It's okay to be excited about the friendship. I cannot wait to just be this man's best friend. And I can't wait for him to be my best friend. And as a woman, this is another thing. As a woman, we're just We're just givers. We're just givers. Okay. So I'm always thinking about what I want to do for, I'm always thinking about what I want to do for my husband. Always. How I want to add to his life. How can I add to his life? I'm praying about this all the time. I don't be praying to the Lord about what this man gonna do for me. And that's like 100% the truth. And that's not the first time I even said that out loud. I didn't even realize that until this moment. I don't pray about what this man's gonna do for me. I don't ask the Lord, give me a man that's gonna love me. Give me a man that's gonna. I don't do that. But I'm always like, God, show me how to love him right. Show me how to be this to him. Show me how to be that to them. What is it that he needs from me? What does he need from me? So that's why the Lord is like, wait a minute, hold up. Not only is this gonna be beneficial to you, the both of you, as well as to the world, but you need to understand, as much as you want to be something for him, he's coming to be something for you. Because I'm always thinking about what I would do for him. But the Lord constantly reminds me about what this man will do for me. Since the very beginning of him giving me the promise. Why? Because he knows how I have been in relationships historically. And I'm talking about familial relationships, friendships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships. And for those of you who don't know, even marriage, because I was married before. The Lord knows how I operate. And I just give and give and give and give and give 100%. I just go to the max. All right? I had a boyfriend once told me, I have never met anybody like you. I just have not, right? And he was like, you don't know how to not go all the way. You don't know how to not go 110. Like, he's like, you don't even go 100. Like, you just go 110. I never met anybody like when you're in a relationship or friendship with somebody, you just go to the max. He said, but you do. And I don't know how you do it, but you just do. And the Lord knows that's how I am. And the Lord is like, but see, this is different. This is different. Reciprocation is your portion, daughter. And I release that to you in the name of Jesus. Reciprocation is your portion, because so many of you like reciprocation. God, what's that? That's a thing? That's a thing, Lord? And it is. It's very much so a thing. When you are in the will of the Lord and you are walking in the covenant that he has for you, reciprocation is your portion, sis. It is. And some of us still have a hard time believing the Lord is bringing us a man who's really going to love us and treat us, see us, and respect us the way that we need to be. But I promise you that if it's the one the Lord has brought to you, I promise you it is. I promise you it is. And so the Lord wants me to receive, prior to the physical manifestation, he wants me to receive it in my heart, that these things are coming from me, in my heart, that this man is coming with already inside of him for me, because I need to know that I'm deserving of it right now. I need to know I'm deserving of it right now. So that's what I'm talking about. When the Lord brings something up, rarely ever is it just the thing he's saying. It's deeper than that. If he didn't say take your marriage more personal, I wouldn't have got to understanding. I still needed to understand the gifts that my husband is coming from me and that I'm deserving of them. 100% deserving of them. And to stop just thinking about how much better of a gift I can be to him, and also be in the place of realizing, oh, God got some beautiful things for me coming in this marriage, some beautiful things for me, and I deserve it. And I'm finally going to get to see the reciprocation, and I'm finally going to get to see the healthy, effective communication that doesn't belittle me, that doesn't be verbally abusive or mentally abusive to me, that doesn't exploit my sadness or my tears or my sensitivity. I'm going to get to see this love, this companionship, this understanding, where I don't have to explain my spirit, where I don't have to feel bad when I really don't know exactly what's wrong with me. I really need you to lay hands on me and come in agreement with me in prayer, because I don't know what's going on. Because the thing about it is that we're complex creatures. And we have a lot of complex emotions. And sometimes we just need a little help getting to the bottom of what's going on. But see, that's why the Lord is practicing so much patience with us, because he's showing us what our husbands are going to do. Because so many of us, if the guy we're with, we say, I don't really know what's wrong. I don't really know. Hey, y'all, you're so emotional. Oh, you're so sensitive. Oh, you so extra. You so dramatic. Like, how do you not know what's wrong? Listen, bruh, I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. I am picking up things in my spirit for you, your mama, your cousin, the dog. What are you talking about? I don't always understand everything I see, everything I hear, everything I'm feeling. And it's not always coming from me. It's not always about me. It's not always about me. And it's sometimes too, because we haven't even understood our spiritual gifts yet. Sometimes too, that stuff being activation, and we picking up all kind of stuff, and we don't even know what to perceive and how to perceive. And because we're not under a spiritual covering, the person that we with is not a spiritual head, they can't help us either. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Can I tell you that your time as being the spiritual head in your relationship is over? You are not going to ever again be the spiritual head in your relationship. You're not going to. You're not going to. So much frustration that we've had in relationships has come from us being the spiritual head, because that's not the will of God. That's not our role. Baby, we are the neck, okay? We make that head better. Okay, we give that head some wisdom, some guidance, some insight, but we are not the head. But we are still in a very powerful and essential position, because I don't know about you, but I ain't seen nobody walking around with a head but just like a head's rolling around and they don't have a neck to hold it up or turn it around. No, you are very much so necessary and powerful. Powerful you are. And needed. Very much so needed. And the man is going to cherish you. He's going to love you. I know we put so much emphasis on how Rebecca comforted Isaac because we knew his situation. But let me tell you something. This word don't put nothing in it that ain't necessary. It don't put nothing in it that's not essential. So you mean to tell me that the Lord was going to purposely tell us that he was comforted by Rebecca, and it doesn't mean nothing for her to be loved by him? She was loved by her husband, a man who needed comfort, who was in a place where you would think he really wouldn't have no love to give her. But that's what I'm talking about. This thing being so divine. That love had been deposited in him deep. All right. And when he came into contact with her, that thing raised to the top. So regardless of his situation, so regardless of what he needed himself, he still had something to give to her, and he gave it to her freely. He needed comfort, but he still offered her love. And she received it. Daughter of God, you need to be loved. I need to be loved. And it's okay for us to admit that. These men need to be comforted. And it's okay for them to admit it, but some of us might have to help them admit it. And we might not be able to come straight out and let them know. But they need our comfort. They need our comfort. It's hard out here for them. They need our comfort. It's hard out here for us. We need their love. And it's okay that we do. And I even believe that the Lord even put this in here just so we can understand. There's so much kingdom around Isaac and Rebecca, around Sarah and Abraham. The Lord constantly reminds us what was on their life, the mantles that was on their life, the promise and the giftings and everything coming from them, the generational blessings that was coming from them. So yes, everything was still kingdom minded. They never got away from that. However, they still had other needs that were very much so a big deal. A big deal. Some people think like, oh, having a kid is not a big deal. Oh, that's just that's just enough. No, that was a really big deal. Them having a child was essential. Whatever the Lord has promised you is essential. Whatever desire that God has put on your heart is essential. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. Don't let anybody talk you off of it. Don't let anybody convince you that it's not a big deal. Your marriage is a big deal. It's a big deal to God, not just because of the souls you're going to save, but it's a big deal to God because there's some things that he wants to help you with through your marriage. Because he hears all your prayers. He hears all your cries. There's some things that you've been crying about, you've been praying about. You want to know how the Lord's going to come fix that? He's going to come give you a man that's going to hug you when you only got to ask him. And some people are like, oh no, like it has to be more deeper than that. It got to be more spiritual than that. No, it's not. No, it's not. You have trouble sometimes receiving affection because it hasn't been reciprocated, or because you feel like somebody always wants something from you or whatever. And the Lord is coming to bring a man who just want to hug you for nothing. The Lord is coming to bring a man to just want to, he ain't buying you gifts, sis, because he cheated. He ain't buying you gifts because he did something he wasn't supposed to do, because he stayed out later than he said he was going to, because he didn't answer his phone. No, he buying you gifts just because he's like, I woke up this morning and the Lord just, he allowed me to breathe. And then I turned over and I looked at you and I was like, my God. If I didn't know how good God was, I turned around, I looked at my wife and was like, my Lord, you are faithful to me still. You are amazing to me still. She's still here, God. She's still with me. She's still loving me. She still believes in me. She's still covering me in prayer. I know I got on her nerves last night, God, but in the middle of the night, I was rumbling in my sleep and I looked over and she was on her knees praying for me, not out of anger, not on some like, God, come get your son, but she was praying for me out of love, out of protection, out of respect, honor, and admiration. My Lord, listen, God, I just want to bless you for this gift that is called my wife. So I'm going to go buy her a gift, Lord. I'm going to go buy her a gift to bless you because she's so amazing to me. That's the kind of man. And some people hear something like this and they're just like, oh, that's not realistic. That's not. Listen, I'm not saying there won't be moments where you roll your eyes and you just like, this dude is, I can't with him today. Right? You have those moments. My prayer for you is that they're few far in between, because that's what I receive over my life. I don't really, okay, Jesus. I don't really subscribe to those people that's like, that seem to speak so heavily on how there's going to be times that are bad. That goes without saying that every day is not going to be sunshine and roses and candy falling out the sky and all that. I get that. That goes without saying. But just because it's not a day that looks like that doesn't mean it has to be a day that looks like a hurricane. And I just believe that I might not have that day where I went all day and didn't get annoyed. I might not have a day like that. It might have been a good month and at least once a day I got annoyed with this man. At least once a day I got annoyed with this man. But that doesn't mean that the rest of the day that I didn't have at least 5 times where I thank God for the husband I have. All right, that day was not without some annoyance. That day was not without some disagreement. But it was still a great day. It was still a blessed day. Why? We wasn't cussing at each other. We wasn't fighting. We wasn't like, I'm about to get out of here. It wasn't none of that stuff. We had a moment where we disagreed. Cool. We disagreed. We're allowed to disagree. I have a brain. He has a brain. I for sure got an opinion. He has an opinion. I have a perspective and a point of view. He does. I have knowledge. He has knowledge. I have wisdom. He has his wisdom. We both have spiritual experiences and life experiences. We're going to sometimes not see things the same way. It's okay. As long as we come around to seeing things how God sees it, it don't matter. It don't matter. But I know for me in my house, I don't know about you and yours, but I'm just believing God and trusting God that I'm going to have a house that has peace. And peace doesn't mean we don't have a disagreement. Peace means I'm going to agree to disagree right now. You're going to agree to disagree right now. We ain't finna have no strife. We ain't about to have no tension. We ain't about to have the silent treatment and I can't talk to you and you can't talk to me. We go different rooms and all that. I'm not doing all that. I am not doing all that. Peace means I'm not going to live in the emotional or spiritual hell that I used to live in other relationships. That's what peace means. And so I'm just saying that you can have the household that you want to have because God already wants you to have that household. He does. 100%. So for me, I'm not finna fight with this man. I'm not finna argue with this man. We could disagree, but I'm not gonna fight with you. I'm not a person that likes to argue in the first place. So I need to be with a man who don't like to argue. I don't. I need to be a man who's like, I need to be a man that's just like, I'm not finna argue. Like me and my friends joke all the time. We just be like, I always talk about how they just gonna, cause all 3 of us have an opinions, but they're a little bit more passionate than I am at some points. And so I be telling them all the time, like, you do understand, like I be seeing their husband in the spirit all the time. And I'd be like, will y'all please not argue with these men? Because I'm telling you, they're not going to engage with you guys in arguments. They're just going to be like, are you done? Okay, I'm just going to sit here until you just get it all out. Right? You good? Okay. Now let's talk about this. Because that is a kingdom man. That's a wise man. I don't got time for the foolishness, right? I don't want a man who's going to sit there and berate me. I don't want to be a woman that's going to sit there and berate my husband. I don't want everything to be a competition and a flex of ego and all this other stuff. I don't have time for that. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, burned it, okay, to a crisp. I'm not going back there ever again whatsoever. Your marriage should be enjoyable. It's not a sentence. It's not a sentence. You should be joyous in your marriage. Why? Because your marriage is not just between you and your husband. Your marriage is between you, God, and your husband. If God is in the middle of that, how you having all that mess? How you having all that chaos? How is this okay? God can't be glorified in that. He can't be glorified you guys always being mad at each other. He can't be glorified you guys don't want to talk to each other. You guys don't want to look at each other. You guys don't hold hands. You don't kiss. You don't hug. You guys don't spend any time together. You guys only focus on things that have nothing to do with intimacy with each other. How is your intimacy with God if you can't get the intimacy right between you and your husband? Because I'm not having a marriage without God. Been there, done that. Still had God in my heart. Still loved him, still prayed, so this another. But that was not a God-ordained marriage. God was not at the center of it. Meaning everything we did passed through God. And the Lord was the one orchestrating. The Lord was the one who was leading. And the Lord was the one who was making our path straight. And we were, that's not the child. Never again will I have a man who's not submitted to the Lord. I don't have a problem with submission. The problem I had was submitting to the wrong person. The problem I had was submitting to somebody who was not submitted to God. But never again. Never again. Okay? That's not happening. Not happening at all whatsoever. But now that I know I'm going to have a man who's completely submitted to God. Completely submitted to God. Have absolutely no problem submitting to him at all, because I know he's leading me according to how God is leading him. So God is leading us. And there's so much security in that. And I saw somebody talk about emotional security. That is a really big deal. That's such a big deal for women. I mean, you'll be a completely different woman if there's emotional security that your husband puts in place and maintains. I'm telling you. If we feel emotionally secure, I'm telling you, that's the gateway to us feeling secure in every other way. That is the gateway to you unlocking so much in us that people don't get to see, that we want to show, that we want to freely walk in and operate in, but we don't feel safe enough to do it. We don't feel secure enough to do it. So no, sir, you got to get this face, because I got to protect me. Listen, the Lord's been trying to show you in your single season that he is going to protect you, protect your heart. You can trust him with your heart. Why? Because he wants you to be rested assured that the man he's bringing you to, the man that he's giving your heart to, is a reflection of him, an extension of him, and he's going to protect you too. And he's going to protect your heart as well. And he's going to care about your heart. Just like the Lord, brings up matters and things on your heart. And you see the Lord knows your pains and your cries. The Lord, you're like, how many videos have you watched? And you're like, oh, I was just crying out to God about this. Oh, I was just thinking about this. Oh, and because the Lord knows what's on your heart. This man's going to care about the things that you care about. This man is going to care about what makes you sad, what makes you irritated. This man going to be like, I don't know why you answer the call every time they call you. Every time you talk to them, this is what happens. Don't go to the party because you already know who's going to be there. And you already understand how she likes to try to get under your skin. That is your husband. Right? Baby, you don't need that. Don't you worry about that. Don't you deal with that. You are fearfully wonderfully made. You understand that you are anointed. You are appointed. You are so gifted. You don't bring yourself down to that level. Don't let them talk you off of what God tells you, who you are. That's what you're marrying. Why? Because God already does that for you. So your husband's coming to pick off where he's coming to pick that up now. Not that God will stop talking to you that way. He won't. But He's transferring a lot of that responsibility now to your husband. This video done turned into something completely different. We just flowing. Cause I really felt like that video I did, that 7-minute video, it was not justice. Honestly, I think that's because the Lord had a lot more to say. But I really just want to encourage you guys. Like, I really, really wanted to encourage you. Yeah, I just really wanted to encourage you all about this, because I know that as much as excitement is around this promise of marriage, there is a lot of condemnation around this promise of marriage. A lot of condemnation, and people want you to feel so bad. They want you to feel so bad. I'm not finna feel bad about nothing that God brings my way. I told my friend the other day, I said, I'm going to be happily in love out loud. And I'm normally like a super, super private person. I don't really want to share anything on social media. I don't too much want to share stuff with people that know me. But I've decided I'm going to be happily in love out loud. Why? Because I'm only happily in love out loud because of God. So you're going to know how good my God is, because you're about to learn about my journey and what he brought me through. Honey, you not finna talk to me about why I'm posting so many pictures, or why I gotta post videos, or why I gotta keep, like, what? Cause you about to understand, there was a time where I looked at myself and could not, who is that? I looked at myself and I was unrecognizable to me. I was also unrecognizable to the people who knew me the best. I mean, my mother, my father, my sister. People I've known my entire life, lived with in the house my entire life, and I looked completely different to them during the relationship and when it was over. And then to find out it wasn't just my family, it was even people who I didn't know was paying attention. My sister's friends, after the fact, will be like, oh my gosh, what happened to Katori? Because she completely different person. I mean, when I tell you, my spirit was not the same. My energy was not the same. My face didn't look the same. My eyes didn't look the same. When I tell you, it was night and day. Night and day. Night and day. Because was on this slippery road to a spiritual, emotional, mental, possibly physical death. And the Lord was like, yeah, no. Okay, I had enough of this. I'd have had enough of this. I'm done with this. I'm not going to fix this. You know this was never me. I'm not going to fix this, daughter. Let this go. Let it go. You keep trying to hold on. Let it go. I know your heart. I know your heart. You don't got to keep trying to hold on to show me your heart. I know your heart already. Let it go. Let it go. Because you can't keep suffering. Let it go. Right? And so because I know where I was and I know what God spoke to me, that's why you're never going to put me in condemnation about getting a divorce, because you don't know what I was going through. You don't know the hell I was in. So you're not going to tell me that I shouldn't have got out of something that was killing me. Forget everything you're talking about. Forget everything you're talking about, because I know what was happening physically, but I also know what was happening spiritually. You're not going to tell me that. Period. But because of what I went through, because of what I survived, because of what I'm thriving in spiritually, emotionally, mentally, despite the enemy's attack, despite the enemy's plan for me, guess what? I'm so victorious. So I'm going to smile and I'm going to laugh and I'm going to love on this man in public and in private. And I'm going to give God the glory in public and in private. Why? Why? Because I know where he brought me from. He kept me even through all of that, just so I could get here. So he made sure my purpose didn't die. He made sure my destiny didn't die. He made sure that the enemy could not quench my spirit, though he was trying with everything to do so. And I made it through complete abandonment, complete rejection, feeling like I was less worthy than the dirt on the bottom of that man's shoe. But guess what? There is a God who was like, but see, this one's mine. And I love her deeply. So I'm going to pick her up right now. And I'm going to put her up to my chest. You know, something like when you put a baby on your chest, it'd be like they could have been just all fussy and everything, but like that comfort instantly, especially when it's like the mother or the father, that just that skin to skin that just comforts you down. The Lord put me on his chest. And I've been there for 3 years. And he's just been speaking to me and whispering to me. And he's just been rubbing my back and letting me know it's going to be okay. And it's all right. And he's just been showing me his plan for me. And he's done all that so I can now go into this beautiful relationship, this God ordained relationship. And everything that is bringing and everything is coming with, everything is going to introduce me to. Because the last relationship cut so many things off. All right. There's no way you guys would ever know who I was if I was still married. I guarantee you that. Y'all would have never saw me. Never saw me. Cause ministry? No. No. He would have never let that happen. Nah. And when I say let, I do mean let. He would have never let that happen. That's why the Lord couldn't even reveal, as much as I was praying about what my purpose was, the Lord couldn't even reveal to me the fullness of my purpose. He had to keep, it was like things had to be decoded. Right? He had to send me encrypted messages. He couldn't even let me have everything. Why? Because I'm telling you, with me, like when we get into a relationship, like with me, like we like this, like I will trust that man. I will confide in that man. Like I'm telling you, I go all in. I'm telling you, I go all in. All right. So with this man that's coming, you are getting the absolute best friend. You ain't never met a friend like me. Okay. You never had somebody be more loyal. You never had somebody believe in you as much as I do. You never had somebody that will war on your behalf like me. You will never have somebody that will speak life into you like me. I guarantee you that. I guarantee that. He better brace for the impact of this influence that's inside me for his life, because it's coming to change everything. It really is coming to change everything. You thought your friends was your friends until you come in contact with me. You thought they was your friends until you come in contact with me. Right? But the Lord was like, yeah, but if I tell you, you're going to tell him this. Because everything I did go tell him, it got cut off. It got snuffed out. It was belittled. It was overlooked. And I was like, wondering why nothing could ever do this or nothing could ever do that. And I started thinking, am I not hearing God right? Like, God, I'm praying for purpose. I'm praying for purpose. I'm praying for you. Like, I know I'm here for a reason. I know there's something bigger. And it wasn't that the Lord wasn't hearing me. It wasn't. I was getting hints. I was getting little bits and pieces, but they were encrypted. Right? So I was kind of picking up on stuff, but I wasn't always picking up on everything. The moment I got divorced, the floodgates started opening. And I remember being at work one day at my old job, and I was walking around and I said, God, I see why you couldn't tell me the things I was asking you to tell me back then. Thank you so much for not showing me. Thank you for not telling me, because you knew it wasn't safe. You knew it wouldn't have been treasured. You knew it wouldn't have been honored. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know if y'all have seen this post before, like this meme floating around that says, like, if you don't want me to tell my husband, then don't tell me. Right? That's me. All right. If you told me something and didn't implicitly say, don't tell him. Now, if you said, don't tell nobody, I still ain't told stuff. I still haven't told stuff. I ain't even told nobody stuff he told me. So it ain't about me not holding a secret. I can keep a secret. But if you didn't say, hey, don't tell nobody, you told me the secret. Well, you knew it wasn't going to be a secret. If you didn't say, don't say nothing, then you guaranteed that he was going to know. In fact, you didn't even act surprised if it got brought up later, because you already know. And if you told him, but didn't tell him not to tell me, he was going to tell me. That's what couples do, especially married couples. You got to be implicit in the instructions. Implicit in the instructions. Why? Because we just so used to telling each other everything. You can't really help it. This stuff does come out, right? But the Lord knows I would do the same thing with whatever he was telling me. And here's the thing. It's not even like it's a bad thing for me to want to tell my husband what the Lord told me. If I can't tell my husband What the Lord tell me, who can I tell? But the Lord was like, you don't even know that you will be divulging this confidential information to a destiny killer, to a dream killer. And it's not even about him, because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but there was a spirit inside of him that was assigned to assassinate everything that I'm revealing to you, that I already put inside of you. It was already on assignment, and you didn't even know that. So if I had told you, they would have been sitting there waiting, all kind of weapons. They just picking out which one they're going to use to kill this one. Which one they're going to use to kill this dream, to kill this vision, to kill this new confidence that I'm giving you. Not with this one. Not with this one. But not just because the man is different. I'm different. See, I wasn't aware of everything that was in me back then. That's why I shouldn't have been able to come out of 2018. Because letting me come out of 2018 was a huge mistake. It was the devil's biggest mistake. Because since I came out of 2018, you thought you couldn't stop me before. Nah. No. Because for the last 3.5 years, all I've been doing is sitting at the Father's feet. And all he's been doing is just giving me all of the insight, all the information. See, I really know who I am now. I really know what I'm worth now. So not just anybody can come around me. That's friends. That's business. That's family. That's romantically. You got to come through Papa. You got to come through Papa to be my friend. You have to come through Papa to be my friend. So you definitely got to come through Papa to be my husband. Period. And until you understand the protection that really brings you, and that really ensures you, you'll kind of be like, because I mean, years ago, I would hear that and I'd be like, But now I understand what that means. And now I'm like, bro, if you come any other way but through the Father, you ain't from him. You gotta go. Access denied. Access denied 100%. I have to be protective over me. The Lord is already protective over me. And rightfully so. And I had to realize, come to understand why God was so protective over me. That he's just like, I get it. He cute. I get it. He's established. I get it. He got this or that, whatever. I get it. He's a little bit better than the last one. Because a lot of us, that's what we fought for. He's not as bad as the last one, so we see him as an upgrade. No. That's trash that just ain't been in the garbage as long, so it don't stink as bad. But that's not an upgrade. That's not an upgrade at all whatsoever. So now I'm like, nah. My daddy is very specific about who's in my life. So I'm going to be very specific about who's in my life, because my daddy has an investment in my life. So that's why he's so particular about who's supposed to be in my life, because he got an investment that he got to get a return on. And if you come in to mess up his investment, you got to go. And I had to see myself as valuable, as worthy, as far above rubies. And please don't take that in a cliche way, because when you really think about that, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You're far more above rubies. Do you know how expensive rubies are? Do you know how rare rubies are? Do you know how... I know everybody be so fascinated with diamonds and all that. Y'all, you know what? I'm going to share this with y'all. It's so random. I don't know if I want a diamond ring. Like, I don't know if I want a diamond engagement band or wedding band. I've had them before. They're beautiful, but I actually don't know if I really want that. I was actually looking at other gemstones just because I think I wanted something more unique, something more rare. But anyways, do you know how rare you are? Do you know how rare you are? They can't just go pick one of you out anywhere. It don't work like that. I guarantee you, every one of you done had somebody be like, I ain't never met a girl like you before. He can't meet a girl like you, sis. You gonna be different. How many of their mamas said like, "Ooh, you completely different than the other ones he been with," because You are. Because the hand of God is on your life. Because the Spirit of God is inside you. Because God has made an impression on you. So you're different. You're super precious to God. You got to be super precious to that man, or else he will not value you right, or else he will not appraise your value right, or else he will not treat you right. And that's why I always say, like, I know the reason why I didn't get treated the way I should have got treated was because I had no correct self-appraisal. I didn't appraise myself correctly. He for sure didn't appraise my worth correctly, and therefore he completely mishandled me. And I knew I was getting mishandled, but because I still didn't understand what I was worth, sometimes you don't feel like you getting mishandled. I mean, like, you didn't drop me, so like we still good, right? And it's like the Lord is like, but he handling you all willy-nilly. If you knew how precious and rare you were, if he knew how precious and rare you were, he wouldn't be throwing you up and, like, you know, almost missing you, but he catches you, and he wouldn't be you just throwing you in his pocket, or he wouldn't, you know, just, you know, sometimes, have you ever, like, got in the house and kind of, like, threw your phone down a little too hard, and you be like, oh, snap, I shouldn't have did that. I forgot. That thing cost me $1,200. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or you wouldn't just treat it any kind of way if you knew how valuable, how precious that it was. Something that you know is cheap, don't cost a whole much, you don't be too careful when you're handling it. But something that cost you something that comes with investment, something like, I hear you, Lord, you got skin in the game with that. You had to put some skin in the game with that. You had to sacrifice for that. You had to go through something to get that. You're going to be a way better steward of it. So like, but this one, bruh, oh, you're going to take care of me a whole lot better. Why? Because you had to go through some years without me, and you needed me so much. And then I came into your life, and your life changed, and you like, oh, I can't afford to not have this in my life. I got to take care of this. Why am I going to be excited about this love, about this marriage? Because I had to go through hell before. Because I had to be by myself. Because I had to see myself as worthy. Because I prayed and I fasted and I cried and I did all of this stuff. So yeah, I'm going to take better care of this. I'm going to take better care of me first. And then I'm going to take better care of this marriage. And I'm going to make sure God's really first. And I'm going to make sure God's really at the center. And I'm going to make sure God's really the anchor. And I'm going to do things the way I know he really wants me to do them. But also, too, I'm not going to hold back what's in me because of what happened the last time. Oh, see, no. This man's going to get the best. He's going to get the fullness of the greatness that I am. Why? Because he's worthy of it. Because I can trust him, because I can depend on him to show up every time. I can depend on him to be integral. I can depend on him to be honorable. I can depend on him to actually be a headship and a covering. I can depend on him to be the prophet of our home. He's actually going to display that he's a king in the earth. That's why he's going to get the best. I'm not going to shortchange this man. I don't care what the last one did. I don't care what the last 5 to how many ever. I don't care what they did. Don't shortchange this man. The Lord tells me that all the time. He said, don't hold back. He can handle it. Whatever you thought before, like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this or I'm not going to do that. It's going to be too much. He's going to be off-putting. He might not like this about me. God said everything that you say is quirky or weird or whatever. He said, that's what you say. Those are going to be all the things that he loves about you because it's going to be what sets you apart. He ain't going to see it as none of that stuff you be talking about. All the stuff you be insecure about, he is not going to care about. So I'm trying to get you to let that go right now because he's not going to care about it. And Whitney, that's the thing. That right there, he's going to be able to get a side of you that no other man has gotten. You guys, I literally remembered like being so heartbroken one day. This was like early in my healing and restoration. Because I got divorced in June 2018, right? So in those first like 6 to 9 months was like the heavy, like, you know, deliverance, restoration, healing part. And I remember feeling so sad and heartbroken one day because I said, God, I feel bad for this husband that you're promising me because I feel like he's going to get scraps. He's going to get leftovers because I feel like I gave the best of me away already, especially to that marriage. I mean, that was 6 years of my life. I felt that was like my almost my entire 20s, bruh. From 22 to 28, 22 to 28, I was like, yo, bruh, that was the best 20s. Like, God, I feel like I gave all of it away. And I feel like my husband's going to get the scraps. And I feel so bad, Lord. I feel so bad. I was devastated, y'all. I was really hurt by that. And the Lord said, no. He said he's not going to get any scraps. And I'm like, okay, how is that? He's like, because you didn't give away the best of you. He said, see, what you thought was the best of you wasn't. He said, what's really the best of you, what really was always designated for this man, what was always supposed to be his, he said, I locked that so deep down in you that you didn't even know it was there. So you just always thought you was giving away the best. He said, but you know, you would have moments where you could feel that there was something deeper. He said, but I never allowed you to really know what that was. I never really allowed you to know what that feeling was, because I didn't, you know, if you know what door is there, you're going to start knocking, right? So the Lord was like, I couldn't let you really peep that too much, that there was something more. Because if that's the case, if you realize that you're not giving this man that you're supposed to be so in love with, if you're not giving him the best of you, what are we going to do? Oh, I got to go deeper. I got to find that door. I got to open. Because I got to release more. I have to give more. So the Lord is like, I kept that thing locked up so tight, so deeply in you that you never saw it. You never touched it. He never knew it was there either, because it was reserved for the man that I had for you. So when I tell you he ain't getting no leftovers, he's getting the best parts of you that you don't even know are there, parts of you that no man has ever seen before. You ain't even seen some of this before. You always knew it was there. You knew the kind of woman you were. You knew the kind of wife you could be. You knew the kind of marriage you should have. You knew all of that stuff. You knew it because it was locked up in you. But I didn't give you access to that, because whatever I would have given you access to, you would have given him access to, and he could not have access to. I heard you, Lord, say he shouldn't have access to you, period. And you right. I'll tell you guys, I'm that person. I take 100% responsibility for the choice that was the person I was married to. That was my choice. That was not the Lord's. And I never presented it like it would. I would never tell you like, oh, I asked God, because I didn't. I assumed and I ran with what I assumed. I assumed and I ran with what I assumed. Certain things I saw didn't go into deeper clarification. I just assumed and I ran with my assumptions. But the Lord is faithful and he loves me, and his grace, oh my gosh, I would be nothing without it. And he's put that completely behind him, and he forgets that. He don't even consider that. For me, I'm gonna let y'all in a little something. I guess we being kind of personal today. The Lord has already revealed to me, like, when he says, like, he puts your sin as far away from you as the east is from the west. He really does that, to the point there, like, when you hear like God has amnesia to those sins once he gets rid of them, he really shoots. For me personally, I can't say it for nobody else, and this is not coming out of scripture. This is what the Lord has revealed to me, and actually what he's actually revealed to some people very close to me to let me know. For me, it's, in God's eyes, it's like I was never married. That's how clean of a slate he's given me. So I have had the thing where I've had to learn how to not be like, oh, my second marriage. Oh, well, I know my husband hasn't been married before, but this is my second marriage. So, you know, a wedding's not a big deal. This not a big deal. I don't have to have that. I don't have to have that, right? And the Lord is like, this man is not about to look at you as a divorcee. And I don't look at myself that way. I actually hate that term. I'm not. But he's like, the Lord's like, he doesn't look at you that way. He's not going to consider the marriage you had before, because it's going to be like that marriage never existed to him. Why? Because in my situation, it's like that marriage never existed to God. He's not holding that against me. He's not holding that against me. So I'm not finna hold it against me, which is why I'm gonna live happily out loud. Happily in love out loud. You deserve the second chance God is giving you. 100% you deserve it. Why? Because he decided so. Who gonna argue with God? If he want to give me another chance, he want to wipe the slate clean. Who am I to argue with him about what he wants to give me? Okay, Lord, you said it's gonna be as if like the whole thing never happened. Like the pain, the betrayal, the belittlement, all of the, like it never happened, right? Like it never happened. I will have the memory of it. I'll have the memory of it only because I need to have the memory of it so that I can make sure that I take care of what I have right now. Because I'll remember where you brought me from. But also so that when people come and be like, why do you act like this? And why, blah, blah, blah. I act like this in my marriage because I remember what used to be. So the memory is a gift. The Lord wants you to remember what it was like. So then when you look at where you are now, you be like, oh, there's a God. There's a God and he loves me. Right? But the enemy wants you to remember because he's trying to bring you to condemnation. He's trying to bring up the past to show you what you did and who you were. It's past tense, bro. It's what I did. It's who I was. But I'm in Christ Jesus now. All things have been made new. Just because you stuck in the past don't mean I'm finna be stuck in there with you. Just because you have no future. But the Lord already told me he has a hope in the future for me. So I'm not finna live in the past with the enemy. Nah. I ain't finna be stuck. I'm about to move into my future. Excited about my future. Enthusiastic about my future. Because God is. If God wasn't enthusiastic about your future, you wouldn't be here right now. Because I'm telling you, there has been so many times where the reason why you made it through was because God was enthusiastic about your future. Because you weren't always. You aren't always enthusiastic about your present. But God is. Because he knows your future. So he's enthusiastic about where you are now because he knows where you used to be and you're no longer there. And he also knows that you're not going to stay where you are right now, but he's taking you somewhere. So he's enthusiastic about it. But it's his enthusiasm. Come on now. Thanks for the memories, but I'm a new, stronger me. I'm a new, stronger me, right? Listen, I'm only trying to go down memory lane when the Lord is like, hey, remember that thing I did for you? Hey, remember how this used to be so hard for you and now it's easy? Remember how you used to struggle with this and now you just breeze right through it? Remember how you used to look at yourself like this and now there's no trace of that? That's the only time I'm trying to go down memory lane. Period. I don't want to reminisce about all of them. No. Only time I'm trying to do that is when the Lord wants me to remember where I was versus where I am now, because he doesn't want me to be hard on myself, because sometimes I can be so critical. And he has to be like, hey, remember, this used to not be like this. Don't be hard on yourself. You walking in a whole new realm now. You walking in a whole new realm. So it's just that quick remember to get back in track, to get back focused, and then we moving on. That's the only time I'm trying to remember. Because other than that, it's irrelevant. Other than that, it's irrelevant. So people keep trying to bring up your past, keep trying to force you to remember old things. They want you to be in an old place because chances are they're in the old place. We done got time for the old place. You're not there no more. You're not there anymore. The place that you're going, listen, when the Lord tell you don't look back, don't look back. You know what happened to Lot's wife? When the Lord say don't look back, don't look back. When the Lord says don't look back, don't look back. When he says move forward, don't you worry about what used to be, who you used to be, who you hung out with, what you guys did. When he said let that go, you let that go. Let it go. There's nothing fruitful there. There's condemnation there. There's damnation there. There's frustration there. There's belittlement there. There's abuse that's there. There's insecurity there. There's depression there. There's oppression there. So don't look back. Don't look back. Anytime the Lord triggers your memories, it's not to condemn you. But when the enemy triggers your memories, it is to condemn you. It is to condemn you. Because he wants you to think that you're not worthy and you're not deserving. Again, because he has no future. Again, because he has no hope. So he must get you to think that you don't have one either. And I gladly let him be in that pity party by himself. No. No. And anybody else who want to be, listen, Actually, I pray the Lord have mercy on people who actually are like that, because I don't want them to be in a place where they really believe they don't have a hope or in the future. But if you want to choose to stay there, I'ma just have to pray for you from over here and let you stay there, because I can't come join that party. That's a funeral. I see a funeral procession right now. That's a funeral. I ain't got time. I'm not about to grieve or mourn about nothing that the Lord took away from me or that he brought me out of. If he hadn't taken it away from me, or if he hadn't brought me out of it, they would be grieving me right now. They would be mourning me. No, this is a celebration of life. A celebration of life. So even if the promise is not married, sis, be excited about what God's doing in your life. Look, I'm gonna pray for you, but that's on you. That's your choice. You made a decision. You made a decision. And I'm making a decision to let you stay over there. You go ahead and you walk in your decision. I'm gonna walk in mine. I'm going to walk in mine. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So that's why when you have friends that are bitter, when you have friends that are resentful, or family members or whatever, and they looking at you like, how dare you walk around here like this, another? Because I made a decision, sis, and I'm walking in my decision to trust the Lord, to fear the Lord, to love the Lord, to serve him, to let him be the head of my life, to let him be my anchor. I'm trusting Jesus to be my righteousness. What are you talking about? To be my salvation. I'm choosing to walk in the mind of Christ, to put on the nature of Christ. I made a decision to be happy. I made a decision to be full of joy. I made a decision to be one with Christ Jesus. I don't know what you're talking about. I made a decision. So I'm walking in my decision. I'm therefore eating the fruit of my decision. Don't be mad at me because you walking in and eating the fruit of yours. I'm not finna apologize for the fruit I'm eating because of the decision I'm walking in. I'm not. The Lord's been delivering me from that guilt. You're not finna make me guilty about this, because the fruit I'm eating, because it has come from this decision that I've been walking in, which means I've been active in this. I've been active in this. I didn't just make the decision. I've been walking in the decision. So it's required discipline, consistency, and intentionality on my part. So ain't no way I'm going to be walking in all of this intentionality, discipline, and consistency and sacrifice, and then I'm not going to be partaking of the benefit that it comes with. Oh, this fruit is sweet, it's juicy, it's ripe, it is giving me so much nutrients. It's putting a big smile, not just on my face, but on my heart. All right, and a deep joy in my spirit, and I'm not going to hide it to make anybody else feel comfortable or to make them feel more secure in the decision that they chose to walk in. No, that's not my responsibility to make you feel good about the decisions that you chose. I'm not here for that. Sorry. I'm just here to show you how when you choose God, when you choose Jesus Christ, and you intentionally choose him, and you permanently choose him with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole spirit, this is what happens to you. This is what happens for you, and this is what happens through you. That's what I'm here to show you. That's what I'm here to show you. My decision is supposed to be a witness to you. I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to demonstrate. You can either get with the demonstration or not. You gonna buy in or you not gonna buy in. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not here to pitch Jesus. I'm just here to put him on display, and you can see the results for yourself, and then you can make the decision for yourself whether you want to come on in on this thing or you want to get left behind. I mean, I can tell you what I advise. I advise you get on in right now. Please jump in right now. But if you choose not to, I'm going to just pray for you from over here, because I'm not coming over there with you. Whoo, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Y'all, I've actually really enjoyed this conversation. I've actually been wanting to come and just talk to you guys like this for such a long time. These are the kind of, I love to have these conversations. These are the kind of things that the Lord has always told me that he wanted me to do. And it's stuff I've always looked forward to. Y'all helping me overcome this whole thing with lives. I don't know why lives are so nerve-wracking for me, but they're becoming less and less so. So I thank you all for always being so gracious and so encouraging. Even when I do pre-recorded videos, you all are so amazing. I tell God all the time, like, you gave me the most amazing women to follow and connect with this ministry. They are, my God, they are so beautiful, like spiritually beautiful, but also physically beautiful. I'm like, God, it's not really fair. I like, are you giving beautiful, intelligent, powerful, wise women of God to everybody? Because you showing up, bring them to me. And you all, as much as you tell me that I'm a blessing to your life, you are really such a blessing to my life. If you, let me tell you something. You guys motivate me to keep coming on here. This isn't, it's not as much self-motivation as you think it is. It's because I know you guys are here. It's because you tell me how much it blesses you. It's because you let me know. So don't think like you're, just telling me something and, oh, I hear it all the time. It's every time somebody tells me thank you or it blesses them or they're grateful for me, it's like hearing it for the first time for me. I can't get used to it. I can't get used to it because I understand the fight it is sometimes for me to keep going with this, because I know the enemy doesn't want me to. Right? I know he doesn't want me to, but I think about all of you and I feel you guys pull on me and I be like, oh Lord, I've been away too long from them. And sometimes I'm away from you guys way longer than I want to be, but the Lord just be doing some things with me and I be trying to figure out how to get back to y'all. But all of it is for your benefit as well as mine. So how he's growing me, how he's grooming me, how he's shaping me. Lately, he's used the word contour. He said he's contouring me. Listen, it's a beautiful process. Sometimes it's kind of a little difficult. Sometimes it's a little difficult, but I love it and I'm so here for it. And I'm here for y'all. I love y'all. I thank God for y'all. I'm supporting you all. Please leave comments. Please, message me on IG. Please email me. I want to talk to y'all. I want to speak with y'all. I want to connect with y'all. Let me know if y'all want me to come on live and pray soon. I think I should. But let me know what you would want the prayer to be around. And if it's kingdom marriage, don't just be general and say kingdom marriage. Like, give me something specific, because a lot of the time, if you notice, when I pray, I try to be specific in my prayers. Like, I don't try to be, oh, Daniela, oh, I'm so happy it is. That's my ultimate goal. Like, I just want to be more and more and more of a blessing. Like, it's never enough. I'm never like, oh, that's good enough. I'm like, nah, God, make me more impactful. Make me more effective. Make me, Shireen, sis, I'm looking forward to speaking with you. And I love y'all. I love y'all so much. And I'm so happy that I just went ahead and stepped out there. Kind of fell into this ministry, but I'm happy it happened the way it happened and when it happened. And it's blessed me more than I ever could have imagined. It's taking me out of my comfort zone. Whew, y'all. I love you too, sis. It's taking me out of my comfort zone so much, but it's okay. Because what's happening in my life, in your life, because of this ministry, it works it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Listen, that's all I want to do. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, that's why I'll get on here and I will tell you personal stuff. Even though I am a private person, because the Lord deals so much with me concerning the matters of the heart. So that's why I come to y'all and I deal with the matters of the heart. And at first I wasn't even trying to be like a marriage ministry, relationship ministry, or anything like that. But those are the kind of things that just continue to come up, and I've realized it's because of how God always deals with me. And he's always dealt with me about heart issues. And so he's always dealt with me about heart issues concerning his children, specifically his daughters. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing. I'm gonna just keep flowing with him, and I'm just gonna keep releasing whatever he wants me to release. And I'm not gonna worry about, anybody's expectations, or, because I have so many things like, God, I don't want to be doing things that everybody else do or whatever, but I have to be true to whatever God puts on my heart. I have to be true to whatever I see that is grieving my spirit that I need to address. And so that's why I came live today, because I recorded that video and I was just like, oh Lord, there's some things I needed to touch on, because I know there's some comments that will probably be left, but there was also some things I didn't say. And like, I just want you to understand. You're so welcome, sis. I just want you to understand the beauty and the blessing that the love God bringing you truly is, not just for the world, but for you. But for you. Because every marriage in the Bible that the Lord brought together, all the ones that we love to study and read about, they were equally beneficial. Equally beneficial. Ruth did, like, Boaz didn't just come do something for Ruth. Ruth did something for him. She gave him a whole heir. Like, I mean, everything, even Ruth and Naomi, that is a divine connection, and it was equally beneficial. They received from each other. So that's what I'm saying. Like, but even their relationship has a kingdom responsibility because of the heir it produced, the heirs it actually produced, the lineage it produced from Ruth, because of her connection to Naomi and because of who Naomi connected her to, but then also served the kingdom purpose of inspiring me and you and teaching us certain principles, right? But in that very moment, they weren't conscious of me and you. God was, but they weren't. But it was listen, Ruth was at that threshing floor because it was personal. God knew it was kingdom, but Ruth in that moment knew it was personal. Did that make it wrong? No. And that moment when Isaac was comforted, he was thinking about, oh my goodness, I actually did need this comfort. Rebecca was like, oh my gosh, it feels so good to be loved. But they weren't thinking about ministry. It was like, okay, the pain I had, I don't have it right now. The loneliness I didn't know I really had, or I didn't know was affecting my life like this. The insecurity I didn't know was really affecting my life like this. Oh my goodness, now it's being dealt with. Now it's being addressed. It was personal, but it doesn't make them wrong. You have personal need of this marriage. It doesn't make it wrong. God sees the personal need. That's why the person you're getting. Here's the thing. If this was just about, let me tell you something, because I hear this right now. If it was just simply and solely about kingdom business, and this was nothing personal at all, no part of this is personal. The person God could really give you just somebody who just had the same spiritual gifts, or spiritual gifts who were compatible, or who just had an anointing that was similar to yours, because he can just pair you together and be like, okay, the two of them plus them will equal this, them plus them will equal this. And it don't have to be this person that had these specific needs and specific personality traits or specific past experiences or whatever. But it's because of the personal. It's because of the personal. That's why it can't even, it's not just about just being like, God won't bring you just any man. God won't bring you just any man of God either. It won't just be you can marry just any man of God. That's not true. You can't just marry any man of God. I mean, you got free will. Don't, like, that goes without saying. But he's not saying I just have any man of God for you. No, because there are some men of God who are going to have personalities that will not work with yours. There's some men of God that are going to have certain mind frames or mindsets that are not compatible with yours, won't bring out the best in you. They'll bring out the best in your sister, though, because that works together on top of the spiritual compatibility they have. Right? On top of, there's a whole bunch more factors. Some of y'all, it's about what's in your bloodline, what's in their bloodline, what they're coming to help you, eradicate out of your bloodline, or what God has put in your bloodline, in his bloodline, that needs to come together, that needs to be carried on through a new lineage. It's so many more personal things to this than we even like to even think about, because we're taught to think about things only in one way, one dimension, from one angle. And that's not how I operate. So just understand that your marriage has a twofold purpose. It is very much so kingdom, at the core kingdom, at the heart kingdom, but it is still personal. All right, y'all. Just remember, we're not in this by ourselves. I got y'all. Y'all got me, but God has us. So we don't walk alone. We don't pray alone. We don't stand in faith alone. All right. I love y'all. I will talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great day.